Hi, this is Cheryl of Majestic Wire Artworks, and in this video I am going to show you how to make this beautiful angelic cutesy pendant. And what you need, well, your supplies will be in the description as per normal, but what you will need is one 13-inch piece of 20 gauge wire and one approximately 18 by 10 millimeter teardrop, either crystal or gemstone, and then the chain and clasps of your choice, and there you'll have a beautiful necklace. Although if you didn't want just boring chain, some people don't, I like the elegance of a simple chain, but you could put some bead links in here and then add chain onto it. That would look good. And the matching earrings, I'm going to have the link to the matching earrings in the description. I forgot to mention that you could easily lengthen those earrings. And here, I'm going to show you one of the earrings. So this is the earring. So you could easily put something to lengthen it if you didn't want a short earring like this. And then for elegance sake, you could add extra beads in your chain. And I mean, everything you do makes it your own, right? And so let's begin. So first thing you need to do is cut yourself a 13-inch piece of copper wire. Okay, and then take your ruler and measure 5 inches, which is 12.5 centimeters, and give it a bend at that point. Okay, so the 5-inch part of your wire is where the bead will be sitting on, and the longer piece, which should be 7 inches, that will be where we're going to make our bail for the necklace, for the pendant. Okay, so I'm going to use the largest part of my round nose pliers. And we're going to wrap twice. We're going to try and make it as neat as possible. Okay, so I'm going to go push it down on both sides because we want the coiling to be very similar in size. Okay, now I'm going to put the round nose pliers back in, and I'm going to wrap around. I'm going to have it cinched up tight to the coil, and of course it's going to move because the camera got in my way. Okay, so I'm quite tight up there, and I'm going to wrap it 4 times. And I'm going to continue wrapping it off camera because the camera keeps getting in my way, because we wanted to make it fairly neat and tight to give it sturdiness. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I've done 3.5 wraps. At that point, I actually want you to decide what you want to be your front. One side will look better than the other. I'm going to get that so the wire's not in the way. Okay, so there's that side and there's that side. I think this is the nicer side. So I'm going to take this wire and have it go to the front, and then it'll come out to the right hand side. Okay. Huh, I got it in my reverse hands, so it's not cooperating. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna scrunch this loop a little bit like this, just because it's sitting a little funny. Okay, see how that fixed it? And I'm checking the coil again with the round nose pliers. So that's good. Go from the other direction. Okay, there, I'm happy with that. Okay, so I'm going to now make a loop like this, pushing it over. We want it to be on the right hand side and coming down the middle like that. And I'm going to push it down because this gets, your bail gets in the way. Okay, and I want it to go to the right a little bit like that. So it's ready for the bead. Now we need to straighten out this wire. See how it's bent? We want the bead to sit directly down. So I'm going to take the chain nose pliers and bend it back where it belongs. And I mean, you can work hard in it a little bit too to help it stay in place and give it more strength. So the bead's sitting on top of that. So if you mar it, it doesn't matter. But don't go below the bead. You don't want to do that. Okay, so this part of the wire is going to go around the bead and this direction. So we need to remember that when we put the bead on. So to lock the bead in place, we've got it down right up against that part of the bail. And I'm taking this and I'm bending it right tight against the bead. Okay, locks the bead in place so that we can do our work. So now the next step is to make this wire hug the right side of your bead, or if you're gone the other direction, you know, depends what you chose. Probably will be the same direction anyways, but we want it to hug the bead so that it's centered and meets up with this, sits right in front of that other wire. We want it to look like this. And we want it to be tight against the bead because that's important for the look we want. And now I want you to bend both of them up. Okay, I've got it upside down, but we want it to go about 2 to 3 millimeters up the side of the bead. Then we're going to make a loop. So I'm actually putting pressure with my nail to start the loop. And then what's nice about a pendant is you don't have to match the sizes, so it takes some stress away. Now, if you really, really want to be picky and make it match your earrings, by all means you can. Then I recommend that you make the earrings and the net pendant at the same time. But there's quite a distance between your pendant and your earrings. So when you wear them, you can't really see the difference. So what I've done now is I've got a nice rounded shape here, and we want the wire to stick out. It just gives it that elegance like that. See, we want that type of look. Okay, and now we want to come back underneath this loop. That loop is going to lock it in place for us. And you want to go to the front like that. Okay, so this is, I might have gone too far back. No, I'd say it's pretty good. Okay, the bail's just bent a tiny bit. So We want it so that this is the front and this is angled to the back, but that's okay. That's what we want. So it's got that look. So it looks like this from the side. Okay, now we're going to make a loop here, and with the pendant you can make this loop a little bit bigger than that loop. With the earrings we wanted it the same. Okay, so like that, using my thumb. Okay, I'm going to push this over a little bit. So I'm going to support this. There. It's got a little bit of movability. And then we want the wires to be down this direction. So that's perfect. And then we're going to measure from that wire. We want to measure 1 centimeter and snip off both wires. Okay, so just so you can see, we've got a fair bit of length left. So if you wanted to do a larger teardrop than this is, you've got enough wire to do it. You have both lengths are really good. So it's awesome. Okay, and measure 1 centimeter and then snip it. Of course, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going a little bit longer just because it's easier holding the wire so it doesn't fly on me. And then I'm remeasuring it, and I know I'll have to trim it again. See, I'm about 3 millimeters too long. So I'm going to, because of the camera, it makes things harder for me. Okay. Snipped off about approximately 3 millimeters. Let's see how we go. How I did. Okay. So it's a smidge longer than 10. I'm going to just leave it at that. I'm going to pull, now I'm pulling the uppermost wire a little bit away because I want to snip it shorter. And I don't want to snip the other one by accident. So about 1.5 millimeters shorter. Okay, so it's like that. Now I'm going to put little loops on the ends of these wires. So I'm taking my pliers and the tips of these pliers are really tiny, so they're nice. You see that? Okay, now I'm going to crimp it down gently. And it flipped on me, and that's okay. Just straighten it back. See, like that. Okay. And do the same with the bottom one. I'm going to pull it out just so I can get at it easier. There, that one went very easily. Okay, so now I'm going to tuck them in. I'm going to start with my pliers, and it kinked up a little bit there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a little bit more curl. Okay, like that. And then I'm going to give it more curl upwards like that. So I put pressure on it so it would curl in here a little bit more. Do the same with the other one to follow suit. And now I'm going to push it down. I'm supporting this with my thumb and then push it down against the bead a little bit more, because we want to actually have this wire protecting the ends. Well, I can see this isn't quite closed. I might have tipped it too far. Just can't see it from the front. But you know, a necklace you can always see from the side a little bit better. See, that 1 millimeter I did extra long makes a difference. So I would recommend keeping it at the 1 centimeter length, definitely. Okay. I'm going to push this over. Maybe that's what happened too. Okay. You can play with it a little bit. See what you want. There you go. And then all you need to do is just add a chain. And there you have a beautiful little pendant. And you know, if you can find a blue teardrop bead, oh my goodness. I ran out. I wanted to do the video with blue, but I was out of supply. I must have bent this a little bit. Always do your little checks and make sure everything's sitting right. If you want, you can split the coil and give it a kind of like that type of look. Looks good. Well, thank you for joining me, and God bless. Please subscribe. Also, I want to encourage everyone to think about joining the Patreon craft-along groups that I've started. And hopefully this will be in the session soon. I'm going to be ordering some more crystal beads so that I can give the proper supplies out. And hopefully I can find some blue ones. Okay, so thanks again for joining me. God bless. Take care and see you in the next one.